1. The clearing of old patterns. There often comes a stage in life when the things that once felt stable begin to shift. A relationship that has long drained your energy may naturally come to a close. A job that once felt secure might suddenly feel restrictive. A living arrangement you thought was permanent may no longer fit who you are becoming. These changes can feel unsettling at first, especially if you are used to holding tightly to familiar routines and structures. But rather than seeing this as loss or failure, it can be understood as a necessary clearing. It's just as a gardener removes weeds and prepares the soil before planting. Life also makes space for new growth by gently moving out what no longer supports you. This process is not about punishment or difficulty, it is about preparation. The challenge for most people is learning to trust this stage. The natural response is to resist, to try to keep things the way they were. Yet holding on tightly can make the process more difficult. When you allow life to clear what is outdated, you open the way for healthier, more meaningful experiences to enter. What feels like an ending today often becomes the space for a beginning tomorrow, too. A time of inner withdrawal. There are moments in life when social activities, conversations, and distractions that once felt enjoyable no longer carry the same meaning. You may notice that gatherings, entertainment, or casual interactions feel less engaging than before. Instead of seeking noise and constant stimulation, you may find yourself wanting more quiet moments. This is not about being distant or avoiding people. It is about giving yourself space to reflect and understand the changes happening within. During this period, solitude becomes a valuable companion. It allows you to sort through your thoughts and feelings without external influence. You begin to recognize the difference between connections that feel genuine and those that are only naturally. Some relationships may fade without conflict or drama, simply because you and the other person are moving in different directions. At first, this shift can feel unfamiliar, even lonely. But with time, it reveals itself as a meaningful stage of growth, helps you build a stronger relationship with yourself and prepares you for deeper, more authentic connections with others in the future. Instead of emptiness, solitude becomes a source of clarity and renewal, necessary pause before new experiences begin. 3. Recognition of patterns and coincidences at certain times. You may begin noticing patterns in your daily life that feel more than simple chance. You might think of someone and soon after, they reach out. You may be searching for an answer, and the information appears in a book, a conversation, or even a quiet thought. These small moments can feel unusual, but instead of treating them as extraordinary events, it can help to see them as reminders to pay attention. These patterns are not the destination themselves. They are gentle signals that encourage you to slow down and notice what is happening around you. Many people overlook them because they expect major signs or dramatic changes. In reality, it is often the smaller, quieter details that guide us the most. Recognizing these moments does not require you to create explanations for them. What matters is the awareness they bring. They invite you to trust your instincts and listen more closely to your inner guidance. Over time, this awareness can help you make clearer choices. Not because the patterns provide all the answers, but because they remind you to stay present. Small coincidences often serve as simple confirmations that you are moving in a thoughtful direction. For flexibility and perspective, there comes a time when the way you see life begins to shift. Situations or limitations that once seemed fixed may start to appear less permanent. A problem you thought had no solution might reveal a different way forward. Beliefs about what is possible can soften, making space for new opportunities you had not considered before. This does not mean ignoring reality or expecting life to be without challenges. Instead, it is about noticing how much of what we accept as unchangeable is often shaped by habits, routines, or ideas we have learned over time. When you begin to question those old assumptions, you open yourself to new ways of approaching the same situations. This stage can feel like discovering that the walls around you were never as solid as you imagined. By shifting your perspective, you realize that many obstacles are not as permanent as they seemed. It becomes less about forcing change and more about exploring alternatives that may have always been available. Flexibility. Perspective allows you to respond to life with creativity rather than fear. It reminds you that your outlook shapes your experience, and by adjusting it, you create space for growth and positive change. 5. Living authentically as you grow. You begin to see the value of living in a way that feels true to who you are instead of trying to meet every expectation or gain approval from others. You start to focus on what genuinely matters to you. This does not mean rejecting people or becoming distant. Rather, it means finding a healthier balance between caring for others and honoring your own needs. Living authentically often shows up in small, steady ways. You may speak more openly about your thoughts without fearing constant judgment. May set boundaries, not to push others away, but to protect your time and energy. You may also find yourself choosing activities and goals that reflect your real interests, even if they differ from what others might prefer for you. Over time, this approach creates a sense of calm confidence. People may notice a quiet strength in the way you carry yourself. The change is not about being louder or more forceful. It is about being steady, honest, and consistent. By allowing yourself to be genuine, you also give others the freedom to do the same. Authentic living becomes both a personal strength and a gift to the relationships around you. 6. A different sense of time as you move through certain stages of growth. Your experience of time can begin to feel different. Activities that no longer align with your values may seem to stretch endlessly, while meaningful work or engaging conversations can make ours pass quickly. This contrast helps you notice what is adding value to your life and what may no longer serve you in the same way. This shift is not about controlling time itself, but about becoming more aware of how you spend it. When you are fully engaged in something that matters to you, distractions fade and you lose track of the clock. On the other hand, when you are doing something that feels disconnected from your purpose, even a short amount of time can feel heavy. Learning to observe these patterns allows you to make better choices. Instead of rushing through each day or becoming stuck in regret about the past or worry about the future, you begin to focus more on the present moment. This is where real decisions happen and where meaningful change takes place. By paying attention to how time feels, you can guide yourself toward activities that bring energy, purpose, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. 7. A quiet inner certainty. There often comes a stage when clarity arrives in a very gentle way. It is not dramatic, and it does not come with loud announcements. Instead, it feels like a quiet sense of direction, an inner knowing about the next step you need to take. You may not have all the answers, and you may not be able to explain it to others, but there is a calm confidence that guides you forward. This certainty does not depend on proof or external validation. It comes from within, shaped by your past experiences, your reflections, and the growth you have gone through. It may show up in small decisions like choosing what to let go of or what to prioritize, but it feels steady and reliable. Many people expect clarity to arrive as a sudden breakthrough, but in reality, it often develops slowly, like a quiet realization that has been building for some time. This stage helps reduce fear of the unknown because you begin to trust your ability to handle whatever comes next. A quiet inner certainty is less about predicting the future and more about being at peace with the direction you are moving, one thoughtful step at a time.